Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. It is your guy, Bulan Shay, and up next on the GM, Ravens versus Texans, keys to victory. Do me a quick favor, hit like. If it is your first time checking out the GM, hit subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk about it. So, all of the analysis and predictions are in, and now it's just time to play the game. And what we're going to do is offer 6 keys for the Baltimore Ravens to capture a victory on Saturday. So let's get to it. Let's start with the defensive side of the ball. First key for the defense, stop the run. And when I say stop the run, I'm talking about 60 yards or less, and that includes any type of scrambles from CJ Stroud. I believe we have the personnel to stop the run to the tune of 60 yards or less. I believe we have the athleticism, and I also believe we have the scheme. I believe that the Baltimore Ravens come in and set the edge like we're supposed to, force everything inside, and Roquan and Queen snuff everything out. I believe that sets the table for a defensive performance that helps the Baltimore Ravens capture this victory. I think key number 2 is akin to key number 1. Keep CJ Stroud in the pocket. Now, I know that sounds really crazy for a passing quarterback, or excuse me, for a pocket passer, rather, because CJ Stroud would rather be in the pocket, dicing up a defense than be on the move. But I think that one of our kryptonites has been a mobile quarterback, when a quarterback can get outside the pocket and make plays with his legs or extend the play and make plays down the field. Keeping CJ Stroud in the pocket allows us to know exactly where he is at all times. It also allows us to push the pocket with Metabuke, Pierce, Travis Jones, those guys up front, and be able to cause some havoc in front of CJ Stroud, preventing him from stepping up into the pocket. Setting that edge, which was part of key number 1, allows us to do this. If we allow CJ Stroud to escape, he has the ability to pick up key third downs. He has the ability to make plays deep downfield, and we don't want any of that. So keeping him in the pocket so we know exactly where he is, so our cornerbacks and safeties can keep eyes on him, so they can also be in right place, right time for his positioning. I think that is a key to pair with number 1 for victory. Key number 3 is right in line with these first 2, and that's being the right place, right time as it pertains to our secondary. We've been that all year long to the tune of the number 1 pass defense in the league. And here's a crazy question, right? When you really, really think about it, how do we do that? Nobody saw Brandon Stevens coming up to this type of performance this year, but he has. Nobody saw Ronald Darby being an integral part when he's been filling in for Marlon Humphrey, but he has. Nobody saw Arthur Millette being a really good slot corner when he's on his game, but he has. And then when you mix in Williams, Stone, and Hamilton, that 3 safety look, man, our secondary has been on point all year long. And I believe that if we pair these 3 keys together, if we're in right place, right time, and call CJ Stroud to look elsewhere besides Nico Collins because we're in good coverage, that allows our front to get there, right? See, if he has to hold the ball just a little bit longer, it allows our front to kind of collapse that pocket, to close in on him and create opportunities for sacks. And so if we tie these 3 things together, stop the run, keep him in the pocket, and be in the right place, right time, I think we can put on a defensive performance and keep this Houston Texans offense to 21 points or less. Excuse me. Let's jump to the offense side of the ball. I think that offensively, the first key is to establish the run. I think that as the Baltimore Ravens have been on a 3-week layoff in some aspects, I think that finding a rhythm could be something that takes a drive or 2. And so I think coming out and establishing the run is something that you can kind of impose almost immediately. It's just putting a hat on a hat, hitting the hole, holding onto the ball, and getting downhill. And I think that that's key number 1. I think key number 2 offensively is no dumb stuff. You guys have heard me say this all year long, and we have certainly minimized the dumb stuff. Dumb stuff is holding penalties when the play is already gone. Dumb stuff is jumping off sides when you know the snap count. Dumb stuff is dropping the ball when it hits your hands as a receiver. Dumb stuff is fumbling the ball, right? If we can minimize those things, no turnovers, I think we put ourselves in position offensively with a good run game and no turnovers, no dumb stuff. I think that puts us in position. And here's where key number three comes in. Key number three is be willing to look for the non primary receiver. Here's what I mean by that. Every team has a go to guy. For the Texans, it will be Nico Collins, right? And that's why the key was right place, right time defensively to cause CJ Stroud to look somewhere else. And when you think about the Ravens, you know, if Mark Andrews is ready to go, he could be a key receiver. If you think about the wide receiver position, Zay Flowers could be a key position. So we understand that they're going to key on those guys. But the non-primary receivers are going to be guys like Nelson Aguilar. There are going to be guys like Rashad Bateman, who I am predicting has a big game. I'm talking about 4 to 7 catches. So that'd be 5.5 catches if you average it out. Probably 75 plus yards and a touchdown. I'm predicting him to have a big game because I believe that they're going to try and double Zay. They're going to give some attention to Odell, and I think Rashad Bateman is going to have an opportunity if he runs the right routes, catches the ball when it hits his hands. I believe he has a big opportunity to have a big game. And so I think going to the non-primary receivers, the guys that they're not keying on, the Aguilars, the Rashad Batemans, and in some schemes that would be Odell, depending on how the formation lines up. I think that that's going to be opportunity after opportunity for us to hit big plays against this secondary. A bonus offensively is to make sure we keep the tight end position engaged. This team, like I stated in another video, this team is not a great defensive team against the tight end position. I believe our tight end room and or slot positions have the opportunity for hit that 150-yard mark this week. I believe that if we can make sure that we include those tight ends, we will cause that defense to kind of change game plans. You see, because they're coming out with a plan to stop Zay. And so I believe that if we can hit the tight ends, hit the secondary receivers and things of that nature, I believe our offense is going to be unstoppable this Sunday. Now, let me get to my prediction. I believe that Lamar Jackson, number 8 in Baltimore, I believe he has 250 plus yards passing. I believe he has a 4 touchdown day, 3 passing and 1 rushing. I believe he goes over 75 yards rushing. I believe it's going to be a Lamar Jackson show. You see, Lamar Jackson has kind of kept himself contained when it comes to running the ball. He's kind of kept himself under wraps and not really tried to show all of his athleticism, not really try to show all of his speed. You've seen it in times where he's making plays in the backfield, making guys miss and all those kind of things. But he's picked his spots. I think this game right here, he's going to unleash the total package. I believe he himself will account for over 300 yards in offense. I believe he accounts for 4 touchdowns. I believe we score 5 total touchdowns. Now, hey, if he don't get 4, but we still score 5 touchdowns, I'm cool with that too. I believe that the Baltimore Ravens win this game going away. I know that the point spread based on all of the betting metrics is a 10-point spread. I believe that the Baltimore Ravens win this game, cover the spread 35-21. That's what I believe. If we come out and we hit all these keys, I think we win this game. And I think we win it easily. Now, when I say easily, I think we're leading going into the fourth quarter. And I think we get a fourth quarter touchdown to close everything out and seal it up. Another bonus, kind of a factor that I didn't mention, a big key for this game is Mike McDonald. Mike McDonald has put on a scheme for every big time competition that we faced this year. He had a great scheme for the Detroit Lions. He had a great scheme for the San Francisco 49ers. He had a great scheme for the Miami Dolphins. And I believe he has a great scheme this Sunday. Saturday. I believe we even get a couple of interceptions off of CJ Stroud because we're going to make him see some things maybe he doesn't expect. In fact, a key that makes me believe this is that Mike McDonald was where the last couple of years before he came to the Ravens? He was in Michigan. And Michigan and Ohio State play. And when CJ Stroud was the quarterback and Mike McDonald was the DC, he kept CJ Stroud at bay. And I think he will employ some similar strategies. He's not the same player, meaning CJ Stroud, but I think that watching film, creating that scheme, he'll have a game plan to minimize the Houston Texans offense. So listen, man, let me know what you want me to know, man. I'm your guy, Boulanger. Remember, 35-21, Lamar Jackson 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, and 1 on the ground. And we're out.